Hello, my friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family. So, we have microplastics found in human stools for the first time. And this study suggests that the tiny particles may be widespread in the human food chain. And, let's just be honest now, in the human body. So, what is that doing to us is the big question. And so, this study examined 8 participants from Europe, Japan, and Russia. All of their stool samples were found to contain microplastic particles. Up to 9 different plastics were found out of 10 varieties tested for, and particles of sizes ranging from 50 to 500 micrometers. Polypropylene and polyethylene terephthalate were the plastics most commonly found. And so this stuff is in our stool. It's in our body. It's obviously in our blood. So they don't really know what the effects are of it. And it's in the food chain because they've found it all throughout fish life as well. And it's all throughout the ocean. It's crazy. It's totally crazy. And, it's going on a huge level. And, this is just part of it. And so this article too, they found plastic in what? And as it says, plastic accumulation in the ocean is grabbing headlines, but a new study shows plastic is turning up in an alarming place. And again, it's in our stools, which means it's in our body. So what is it doing to us? Is it perhaps increasing the cancer rate? I would venture to guess you bet it is, without a doubt. And so, are they a threat to your health? I would say so. Don't you think so? I mean, how many people out there think eating plastic is good for you? And so you must be so careful. And unfortunately, I see it all the time. No matter what we do, we're going to be exposed to this, and it's going to be in our system. But we should try to limit our exposure. There's certain plastics that obviously you're not going to want to use to put your food in because they're just not going to be healthy. But even so, this stuff is penetrating into the food supply and everywhere at an alarming rate, and it's found everywhere, all over the rivers, oceans, the soil, everywhere. And as it says here, no food is an exception. And so one recent study examined 15 different brands of sea salt and found up to 273 microplastic particles per pound of salt. Other studies have found up to 300 microplastic fibers per pound of honey and up to about 109 microplastic fragments per quart of beer. And the most common source of microplastics in food is seafood, because microplastics are particularly common in seawater. They are commonly consumed by fish and other marine organisms. So recent studies have shown that certain fish mistake plastic for food and they eat it, leads to toxic chemicals accumulating inside the fish's liver. And so a recent study found that they were even present in deep sea organisms, suggesting that microplastics are affecting even the most remote species. Mussels, oysters, much higher risk. And it goes on and on and on. And yeah, these are definitely cancer causing. Why do you think we're having such a huge amount of cancer? When, I've seen so many studies too going back, if you go back to 1900 and the amounts of cancer, were infinitesimal compared to now. Of course, people live longer now than 1900. And, cancer is kind of a natural thing that actually happens that usually the body can handle on its own if it's in a good enough state. But our livers are so increasingly overwhelmed by everything that we're exposed to. And you need to be constantly detoxing the liver all the time. Alarming level of microplastics found in a major U.S. river, and it's the Tennessee River. And it's not good as well, obviously. It's all over. And then we have synthetic particles as contaminants in German beers, as we were talking about. And so a total of 24 German beer brands were analyzed for the contents of microplastic fibers, fragments, and granular material. In all cases, contamination was found. All cases. And here is another study on German beer as well, and there's a PDF. And so, I mean, it's all over. It is all over. It's part of our world. And, you know, this, of course, always gets me to think about, well, what are they spraying in the skies as well? And, you know, the chemtrails, which now, you know, who denies chemtrails? Hardly anybody now, you know, denies them. It's pretty damn obvious, even though there were so many disinfo agents out there. It's amazing how many disinfo agents there are out there in the world. You know, and for a long time they were fighting against the chemtrails because they didn't want it to be found out, you know, that chemtrails are real and they are spraying a ton of stuff over our head. Now, we don't know what's being sprayed. Although I've had people that are former employees of the government or spouses of former government employees that have, you know, told me that if we knew, boy, would the American people be up in arms. So, you know, it's not all good. I mean, we understand that we've seen aluminum and barium up there, which is used to reflect the light back out, quote unquote, global warming purposes, you know, to try to alleviate that. And now the big thought is it's because of the increased UV. We actually have UVC on the ground measured, which is not supposed to happen. So obviously they're protecting us from that, and perhaps that's true, but they're also, you know, at the same time probably poisoning us. And there could be a lot of other things that are being dropped as well. So, you know, this is just disconcerting. I wanted to bring it to your guys' attention, and in case some of you guys might not realize this, but yeah, we have a lot of plastics in our body, and it's not good. So again, I recommend strongly everybody always be trying to detox your liver, you know, and there's many ways of doing that. We've talked about that before, and actually that would be a good topic for a standalone video as well. So as always, my friends, thumbs up to support the channel. Please do subscribe, click the bell for all the notifications, and share with as many people as possible so we can wake up everybody and actually get some true good change in this world. My friends, may you always be blessed with abundant peace, love, happiness, and well-being. God bless, and namaste.